Remember the first time you heard the goat in the background? You thought it was in the song?
Yeah, I was outside relaxing. I didn't know we were by a goat farm or some sort of farm. And, just outside listening to music. And I just thought, this is strange. Every song I hear, has a goat in the background. I thought, man, this goat thing. I guess everyone's mixing music with goat sounds. I thought it was the popular thing.
Welcome back to This Might Be a Bad Idea on love, life, and chaos on our move to Mexico. Today, we're talking about the noise in Mexico. I mean, we think that we might need a white noise machine, but instead we live inside one.
Yeah, I think the noise was definitely surprising. I think, coming from a house that we lived near a highway where we got a lot of trucks driving by, that we thought that was noisy, but moving to Mexico, I was very surprised. I didn't think that we would be dropped in the middle of a construction site because ultimately that's what it feels like. The construction sounds really from like 8 a.m. till like 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and sometimes Sunday.
Yeah, when I bought this place, it was peaceful and serene. Not that it was peaceful because they were still building the houses next door to us.
Yeah.
So that was pretty noisy. But by the time we had moved in, most of the homes were already built up and, finished. So it was a little quieter, but then lo and behold, because this is Mexico, they build on top of everything. So they're building a community right behind us, which has 59 units that they're building right behind our house. So that has started to bring a little bit of noise. But not only do we have the construction noise, we have the dogs and the roosters and the goats. So it's fun. If you had to describe the soundtrack of our life in Merida, how would you describe it?
Well, like you said, you get two main sounds. It's the construction sounds, and then it's the animal sounds. And really, ultimately, that's it. So, we have our goats, we have our roosters, and then we have our barking dogs. So that's what we hear most. And it is a little strange because you do hear the goats in the background for whatever you do. If you're listening to music outside, you're going to hear goat sounds in the music because you're going to hear them outside. So it is kind of interesting. Then on the other side, you have construction equipment. That would be, your normal drills, your saws, giant equipment that is so loud that, I'm thinking, animals from 2 miles away are running just because of the vibrations and the sounds. And I'll be honest with you, it's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts.
Old Founder's good one there.
Oh,
but
it's bad.
You remember the first time you heard the goat in the background? You thought it was in the song?
Yeah, I was outside relaxing. I didn't know we were by a goat farm or some sort of farm. And, just outside listening to music. And I just thought, this is strange. Every song I hear, has a goat in the background. I thought, man, this goat thing. I guess everyone's mixing music with goat sounds. I thought it was the popular thing. But then I realized that there's like 10 goats behind us, probably 50 yards away. So, you're definitely going to hear a lot of goats. And I think in the same property has roosters. So you're going to definitely hear a lot of roosters in the background. Not close enough to wake you up, but close enough to hear it in the background.
Yeah, when I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning to do my lap around the HOA community, I would hear the roosters in the morning doing their morning wake up call in the morning, and they do that till about maybe 6:37. But it was interesting because I was like, wow, there's a rooster, but it's not near us, but it's close enough where we still hear it from our house. And when we're inside of our house, even when we're outside our house, we still hear the roosters. So not only do we get the animal sounds, we have dogs, right?
Yeah, we have, probably 5 or 6, homeless dogs that run around. And, this is, of course, something that we didn't know, coming from the States. Everyone has their own dog. They keep them inside or, somewhat in the backyard. But what we've learned in Mexico, at least this area, a lot of people have their own dogs, and those dogs, they keep them inside. But then the town also has dogs. So almost like the town people
they don't have dogs.
The dogs that live within the town.
Don't have dogs. They're just homeless dogs.
They're homeless dogs.
They're homeless dogs that we would typically have in the States, but we had this whole spayed and neutered campaign in the States. So
Yes.
we see less dogs in the States. But if you go to anywhere in Europe, you go to anywhere outside of the US, you will see cats, you will see dogs, you will see animals everywhere because it's just not a common thing there. So that's what we have in Mexico. Like, if you aren't comfortable with hearing dogs barking, then don't come to Mexico, dude. Because regardless of where you're staying, there's going to be dogs unless you're in a gated area, or then they're like 50 miles away. Otherwise, anytime you step out of it, you'll hear dogs. I mean, so when I first came to Progreso Beach, there literally were probably 3 dogs that were on the rooftops near where I was. So that's all I heard barking all night was dogs. And it was like, it felt like the dogs were inside the room with me.
Yeah.
And that's what I heard all night. That and trucks driving past my window all the time because the roads are so bad that the trucks would drive by and just bounce and make all this noise. So it's just getting used to that sound. I mean, we live in the suburbs, so we don't have people driving by the streets, but now we have the construction noise because of the Pravada next door. But talking about construction noise and talking about additional noise, we live near a small town, and that small town has events like any other town would do. And then I think one night, the first night, or like, what is that noise? And the house was like shaking, and we heard all this music going on. We're like, is our neighbor Dorian having a party? Like, what's going on? We heard this music, and then it was going on until like 4, 5 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, the town is about a mile away.
Yeah.
It's a small town, very interesting little small Mexican town, about a mile away. But they were having a huge event there and a live band. And I'm shocked to say that band was so loud that we heard it from a mile away like it was in our backyard.
Yeah.
So whoever set up the sound system did an incredible job because it was so loud. And the interesting part in this is the music didn't start at like 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. This music literally started at almost 11 p.m. and went on to 5 a.m. I mean, all night long, these people were partying. I mean, I've never seen that unless you go to Vegas or New Orleans, you see that. But these people were having a great time all night long.
Did you think you should get up and go join the party?
I mean, I did. I would love to walk down there, but if you know the area, it's pitch dark. So you're walking on a road in the middle of the jungle with no lights except for if there's, say, a car would drive by. And, I don't know what's out there. I mean, there's big scorpions out there.
Yeah, because we don't have a car. We don't have a car yet. So, yeah, he does walk into the town. So he walks there normally, but walking in the middle of the night, it's probably not recommended.
In the middle of the jungle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, that event had about, 3,000 people there. And it wasn't people from the town, obviously, because the town is tiny. But people from all over came, and they have this annual event. And it's been going on for over 30 years in Escayun. So, we got to hear the music and the sounds that happened every night from that event, like we were at the event. And so anytime that town has events, which I think last week there must have been something going on because there was music again.
Yeah, there definitely have some music and some tents set up. So, it's definitely a town that I've walked through many a times. I feel completely safe in that town. Everyone said hello and they were telling me good morning. So, really, really nice town. I enjoy walking through there. Sometimes I think they do look at me like, what are you doing here? Did you get in trouble with the law and now you're trying to run away?
I don't think
they do give me that look.
I don't think anybody's thinking that.
But other than that,
did you run from the law?
I did. I never broke any crimes. I've been great. So, but I do get that look. But that's okay because I do look a little awkward in that town.
Would you say that the construction noise or the party noise is louder?
Well, no question about the construction noise. Yeah. The construction noise is noise like I've never handled before. I thought I would be okay with some noise, the trucks, motorcycles, things like that. But the construction has pushed me to the limits where, I have to get out and walk because the pounding, the drilling, everything's cement. So it's just some of the loudest construction noise I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of space it out at this point. I don't really hear it that much, but you're closer to it as you sit downstairs by the glass window, which probably vibrates everything and makes it louder. I sit in a closed office with my music on, so I hear nothing. I mean, I don't hear nothing, but it's I just tune it out. Along with the dog noises, I don't hear anymore. I'm just kind of used to it at this point. But I did have parents who blessed their TVs up to like 100.
Yeah.
And I fall asleep in it, which, I know drives you crazy when we go on vacation.
The very loud TVs, yes. I think, my ears maybe just take a little bit more time to adjust to the construction sounds. So I don't know. It depends. It's like the construction sounds might not stop for like years. So, my ears really need to adjust because, I can't wait because it could be years before it stops. But it's very interesting. Definitely pushing me to the limits, but that's okay. I'm adjusting, taking deep breaths, and, trying to relax.
Do you think you'll ever get used to the noise at some point?
I hope not, because it's just such loud noise, and I have sensitive ears.
Yep.
So I think I'll never get used to that now.
Yeah.
And if it continues, I will wear big earphones, and hopefully that'll help. I will tape 2 pillows to my head with tape, and I'll walk around like that.
So if we actually get quiet, do you feel like there'll be something wrong when it finally gets totally silent?
No, definitely not. The construction noise is terrible. No one should have to go through the construction noise. The animals don't like it. I don't think anyone likes it. So no, when it stops, I'll be just a happy, less stressed out person. So I'm looking forward to that day that I can just go out there and, listen to trees or the wind or other things than, big hammers and, strange dudes yelling Yahoo because I don't know, they sawed through some kind of cement cinder block.
I don't think they're saying Yahoo.
They are. You don't know. They are. It's that, or they're doing construction at the same time watching a soccer game, and whatever soccer team is scoring goal after goal after goal.
That would be a weird thing to say every time they finish something. They say Yahoo.
Well, they're happy. Maybe they got money on the team. They could be winning every goal that is shot. But the fact is that they are yelling Yahoo. I don't know why.
So, would we still do it again? Will we still move here without knowing all the noise?
Well, that's a good point. I think so far everything's been going great. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here with you. But the noise has pushed me to the limits. So it's just something I think next time I move, I don't want to move into an area that has a ton of construction around it. And, I know when we first moved here, we looked around and we were like hoping that they wouldn't keep building. And our hopes were smashed because they don't just keep building. They're building 58 more units that is going to cause, continuous noise for, a long period of time.
Not only that, is they still haven't finished the units across the street from us.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Sorry. Well, we could get all our friends to buy them, and then they just sit there empty.
Well, they still got to make them, though. Remember, there's still a bunch of that aren't made that they're going to make.
Well, no, the lots need to be sold.
Yes.
So if we got some friends that buy the lots, they could just stay empty.
Sure, they're going to buy the lots and not move here and just keep them empty. Just keep them. I guess that's sure we can try that, or we can buy the lots and keep them empty.
We could do that too,
and kick everyone else out.
Okay. But that's all we have for today. Thanks for stopping by to This Might Be a Bad Idea.